My name is Giedrius Vlinas. G, people calling me G, so that's a simplified version of my name. And well, my journey started, to health, from this little incident that I had 7 years ago. And a skydiving incident. I was trying to represent my country in the World Championship of skydiving in South Africa. And because of turbulent air and all that stuff, I hit the water at the high speed, 90 miles per hour. And of course, at that speed, the water is like concrete, so I went unconscious with hitting that water. And so it appears that I was 11 days in a coma after that, and I spent almost 3 months in the hospital. My diet at the time was normal, paleo diet, and so I didn't even know. I was eating still tons of meat because I'm a big meat eater. Before that accident happened, I was a big meat eater. And so every time I would do so for lunchtime, I would be on a bed for 2 to 3 hours, and I did not know why I was so weak. And if I would know what I know now, in those days, goodness, it would be a dramatic difference. But you're not going to be able to turn the time back, and so. But then I met this yogi from India who suggested to me to vegetarian style of life, and so that's what I did. When one night I became a vegetarian, but he suggested as also to eat a lot of yogurt, which is mucus forming, as we all know. And so I was just stuffing myself with yogurt, and of course my condition improved a little bit. Maybe for a year it was improving, but after that I plateaued very fast, very soon. And so I was still looking for answers, what can change my condition, because that was not the answer I was looking for. And pretty soon, I found Dr. Morse, and it was 3.5 years ago. So all of a sudden, I saw the first video of Dr. Morse, and energy started moving in my body, and I know that I have to listen this time, very carefully, because I knew already what was that energy in my body. It was spiritual awakening, all this accident stuff, a lot of stuff to tell or to talk about. So Dr. Morse was the one who finally brought me into real healing. And I went to Brazil that year. I remember after watching a lot of Dr. Morse's videos, and that's where my food journey began. In Brazil with the fresh fruit, so that was awesome. 2 or 3 weeks of introduction to this fruitarian diet, and so after coming back, I ordered first kit of herbs, and so it was my first protocol, which Marcy did for me, because Dr. Morse we all know, he's absolutely very busy man, so I didn't want to wait to have that first appointment, so that's why I went with Marcy first. And soon after I felt for the first time, and it was 5.5 years after my accident, I felt first signals, kind of sensations of stuff moving in my cerebellum area, which is, as we all know, the central hub, for all neurological, stuff in the body. That's where my body started awakening. I felt like the ice is melting, and finally the correlation, you should say, like ice is melting in the spring. So that stuff in the back of my head, which was kept my body locked because of all the acidity in the lymphatic system. So that was huge, I mean, first step into the healing. And then, I mean, it's just a journey, and that's already, what, third year into that healing, and especially with the emphasis on a dry fasting that I do a lot these days. Well, actually, I didn't have many of broken bones, luckily, but I had this kind of little fracture on C1, which connects your spine with the skull, and so it was very close that it would break on the other side, and that'd be the end of the movie. And so I was in the halo. They kept me in a halo, which is like a ring on a head, and so it was attached to this harness on the chest, so I'm stable, I don't move my head, so that vertebrae healed eventually, and so luckily I didn't go through surgery route, so they didn't do even bigger mess for me. But I went through another 9 surgeries in 10 months, and so it's a big mess. So it was a lot of stuff to clean, and it still is, obviously. But I'm getting there. And like I said, with the dry fasting, I'm gonna break that 7-year mark, and I'm gonna fix those problems way faster now. I feel like it's coming already, and that's why I'm so excited.